Welcome into the Holton Ahlers Show. A huge edition. We got some football news. Julius Wood on the other side of the break. We're going to interview him about joining the Dallas Cowboys. Plus, our very own producer, Drew Dotter, one of the hottest names in the transfer portal, is going to commit at the end of the show between Oregon, Georgia, Alabama, and Catawba. We'll see who he chooses. We don't know. You have to wait till the end of the show to figure out. Hope you enjoy the show. If not, as always,
Holton Ahlers turns, and Holton will take off and run himself. He's at the 40-yard line. Holton Ahlers to the 30. Look at him go! 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Pirates!
There's local politics, bud.
It's showtime!
Hey, we're back, boys. I think it's episode 17 now, nearing 20. Let's welcome in Julius Wood, now Dallas Cowboy. Julius, the Cowboy Stadium's in my backyard, man. Excited to get you here, man. How do you feel?
I feel good, just thankful for the opportunity, just excited, excited. It's a dream come true, but it's not even close to being over, so it's a lot of work that's about to be put in and things like that, just got to prove myself at another level. So, I'm ready for everything that's coming with it.
It's just getting started, man. The work's just getting started. I'm happy for you, dude. From being in the NFL, the little time that I was, dude, I know you belong. I'm excited to see you get to work, really. I wanted to get in kind of to the pre-draft process because it's kind of from experience it literally a year ago for myself. Like, it's a time where you find football, you finally get to focus on just your body. Like, how did your pre-draft process go? Where did you train? Who'd you train with? And kind of, get into detail about that.
The pre-draft process, it was real different, from what you're used to, so you got to really go out there and train at different facilities all around the world. The facility I trained at was X3 in Nashville, Tennessee. It was about 40 players there, so we built a great connection and just grew together, and it was just a good experience all around. But, you had to grow love for it just because it wasn't football, So, it was a different experience, but it was an experience that I wouldn't take back. And, that I built good relationships with those people and just seeing them get their chance at the next level, it's just still exciting to me, and just those would be some people that I'll keep those relationships, very tight with me, for a long time.
Julius, I want to know kind of what the conversations were like with your agent and other teams. I know you went and visited a couple teams. Tell us a little bit about just like the conversations, where you thought you might end up before the draft versus obviously where you're going to, which is the Dallas Cowboys.
That whole pre-draft process, just talking with my agent, I could have went anywhere from 5th to 7th round, but, the situation that I am in with the Dallas Cowboys, that was the situation that I feel like was meant to be, so I'm just thankful and I'm grateful. Like I said, really, I feel like I deserve to get drafted, but, those was the cards that I was dealt, so basically you just got to be grateful at the end of the day.
Right.
Like, we all back on the same playing field, the people who got drafted versus the ones who went free agents. So we're back even, so we all got to go prove ourselves, so that's the bright spot right there. We all got to go prove ourselves and practice it. And once we show up in person, that's going to be the tail of it all.
Julius, Caden here. Never had a chance to meet you, but super proud of you as another, former Pirate myself. Quick question for you. Walk us through getting that phone call from the Dallas Cowboys. Who called you? Have you talked to Jerry yet? What was that like for you?
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. It was Coach Cannon, the safeties coach. He gave me that call, and then I jumped on the call with my agent right after, and that the agent call, that's when all my family started celebrating, so, it was a real good experience. My whole family just, start crying and just jumping around and just, just jumping around in excitement. It was a real good feeling. Like, you can't really describe it unless you go through it, in real life. So basically it's just something that you just got to experience, for yourself. And it was a wonderful time with my family, with the ones that I love. So, it was a great experience that whole time, but that phone call, it was very quick. We made it happen real fast. And and never looked back since. So.
Jay Wood, going through it kind of last year, I know like that 5 to 7 round, and then like there's just so much uncertainty about it. That's kind of where I was last year. So Keaton, Ryan Jones, CJ, kind of all those guys were last year. Noah, Tig. I know you start getting calls, or at least I did, and I know some of the other guys did. Did you start getting calls before the draft ended? Like, I know that's like the fool's gold of it is like you'll see a call from Pittsburgh, but they're like, hey, they're trying to recruit you for after the draft. Like, did you get any of those calls, or was it more like as soon as the draft ended, you got calls?
Oh yeah, definitely. I got about 20 of those calls, so it kept my heart jumping and kept my heart because I'm thinking I'm about to get called on the TV.
Yep.
Next pick, so it was kind of weird like about that. But yeah, I received about like 20 of those calls and, just negotiating, telling us we down to our last pick. We might take you here, or we might get an offensive lineman right here. We don't know yet, so it keeps you excited throughout the whole process. And I feel like, it's something that could like disappoint you if you see the other team take another person. But, it's all a part of the process. And just building those relationships, is going to go far. So, you can't get too mad at that they didn't take you at that certain round or that certain pick. You just got to be grateful for whatever options, that you do have and whatever situation you are in. You should just be excited that they are calling your phone because there's some people out there that's not getting a phone call on draft day, So, yeah, really, you just got to be grateful, really.
100%, dude. And like, just keep that fire under you, man. Undrafted, like, just makes the story better. I remember, like, that's the biggest thing that I've taught. And even like J Mac, I don't know if I think you did get a chance to play with J Mac. Now, obviously, Keaton, like, it's just the fire, man. Once you get in, like, you're in. Just go show. Like I said, I mean, you deserve to be there. What made you pick the Cowboys? Because I mean, obviously, undrafted is a little bit different for the people who don't know. Like, you have offers, and some people throw more money, some people throw guaranteed money in the back end, some people throw cash up front. Like, what made you choose the Cowboys? Was it the situation? Was it the bigger guarantee? Like, what kind of all went into that?
Really, I feel like it was a combination. Really, I feel like it was the obviously the situation and the roster aspect. That was the most important. Going down there to be able to compete first and foremost, and then the money and things like that. Every team was offering money. So really it came down to where do you feel like is the best fit? When I talked to my agent, it really came down to best fit and things like that. So, I just felt like Cowboys in my heart. I feel like that was the place I needed to be at, So now it's time to just go down there and cherish the moment and really just take advantage of the opportunity.
For sure.
Ju, I want to know, kind of going back to the ECU days, and your time in Greenville. Obviously, going into our last season here this past year, you were a hot commodity, a big name that people were looking at. I want to know if there was any kind of tampering or teams reaching out to you before the season. In this day of the transfer portal and NIL and stuff like that, you see a lot of these schools coming, and we've seen it with some of our other teammates. But I want to know if people were reaching out to you before the season, and if so, kind of why you stayed so loyal to East Carolina University.
It was definitely some teams tampering, but really East Carolina was the team that took a bet on me, a chance on me out of junior college. So East Carolina always going to be a part of my heart. It was an opportunity that I took, and it was really basically my only opportunity coming out of junior college. So it was kind of a no-brainer to stay at East Carolina. The fans is great, the environment is great, and just being able to go down there and see that it's like a sport town and a football town. And, it was a town that you really couldn't beat. And I feel like you wouldn't get that nowhere else. I feel like I could have been successful other places, but I feel like East Carolina was the place for me, So really it was a no-brainer staying there. But definitely like my last year in college, it was tampering, and other teams definitely wanted to come and get me out of the transfer portal, wanted me to enter the transfer portal. But I took some thought into it because of the money aspect. When you're a 21-year-old or
right.
20-year-old, you're in there offering hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're going to be somebody who's take thought to that. Anybody, I don't really care who you are. You're going to take a thought on that. You know, it don't matter if you love where you at, or then once they offered the certain amount of money that other schools do offer you, you know, you're going to take some thought into that, you know. So some people might say that they might not think about leaving where they're at, but once that option is offered to you, it's going to be something kind of difficult to navigate through, because you might love where you at, but this opportunity of
money talks,
this certain amount of money, right, then it is going to change your outlook on that situation, really.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
I got 2 quick questions for you before we let you go. One really quick for the fans out there and kind of ECU. Can you name any of these schools that were tampering so we know who we're competing against with other players in the future?
Nah.
I really feel
what
like,
conference?
SEC.
That's who we
All
got to
right,
compete
respect.
against.
That's a big conference right there. You know, they got a lot of money, and it's a lot of people that has a lot of money that graduated from those schools. You know, so they can overpower a lot of smaller schools. You know, that's kind of the name of the game. But to those people, to those kids and those guys that's in college, you know, stay where your heart is at. You know, don't go chasing money, because I feel like at the end of the day, if you stand where you feel like you're cherished at and you're supported at, you really can't beat that situation. You know, you might go somewhere where it's more money, but the support's not there. Or you might go somewhere where you get more money, but you know the bond of the locker room isn't there, like East Carolina. You know, so I feel like really just cherish your moment. You know, and don't get to looking outside of the big picture and trying to go chasing after money. You know, focus on your skill set and trying to get better every day. And I feel like that's going to take you farther than, you know, just trying to go seek money at the certain moment. You know, try to think longevity instead of thinking short term.
Yeah, that's a great comment. Not many people say that these days. Everyone wants to, you know, get the bag as quick as possible, and I can't blame them, but that's a great call out. Last question, kind of a fun one for you. You know, you're going to the NFL. Anyone you're looking forward to on the Cowboys team, kind of to play alongside, or maybe in the preseason, someone, you know, you're looking to guard and maybe pop a couple of times?
Obviously, playing with, I would have to say Michael Parsons. You know, he's a great in the game. He might be one of the best defensive players in the game right now, period. You know, he controls the game just off of his position. You know, he can change the whole trajectory of a game. You know, so being able to go learn from somebody like that and being able to try to model my game and take bits and pieces of his game and place them in my game, you know, I can't wait to be able to do that. But somebody who I want to play against, I would have to say some receivers that I was on the same junior college with. You know, a few of my guys that's in the NFL. Just really want to go after the end of the game, be able to swap jerseys with the guys that I did play with, you know, in my career, in my football career. Basically, I just want to go and, you know, see my people that I did play with and just reunite at the end of the game. That'd just be a big accomplishment, you know, just to go see others that I did play alongside succeed.
Yeah, from the trenches
Heck yeah, dude,
to the NFL. That's awesome, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Julius, have fun with that $500 fine for the jersey. I learned that real quick in the NFL. So,
yeah.
hey, dude,
Wait,
we'll keep killing it, man.
What's the $500?
$500 if you swap jerseys.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
Oh, you're gonna learn you'll learn the fine system real quick. They'll put it on you very quickly, I promise. But hey, dude, we're proud of you, man. Kill it. You know, you're ready for it. We all know it, and we're not going to be surprised when you make the 53. Everyone else might be nationwide, but we're not going to be. So go get it done, bro. We're proud of you.
Yes,
be a
sir.
hammerhead.
I appreciate you. Hammerheads, man. You know we hammerheads for life.
Let's do it.
See you, brother. The interview was brought to you by Southern Knees. What are you waiting for? Experience the many wellness benefits of Southern Knees tasty hemp edibles by going to southernknees.com. Use code PIRATE for 25% off. Appreciate those guys for sponsoring the show. Also, want to say shout out to Anson Belt. Over 10,000 combinations of micro adjustable holeless belts. Summer's coming. It's going to be tighter. Mix and match the buckle. Make the belts look good. The boys are huge fans of it, especially on the golf course. But hey, wear them anywhere. They fit every occasion. AnsonBelt.com. Go check those out. Boys, I'm just going to go ahead and call it out. Julius Wood's going to make a 53-man roster. Minimum practice squad, but he's going to make the roster. We believe in him. How'd y'all feel about it? I mean, obviously, I thought he should have gotten drafted, but how'd y'all feel about it?
I would agree with that take as being someone that's kind of been by his side. He was one of the teammates that you respect his work ethic. He might not always, pick it up right there on the first time, but he's going to show up every single day and every opportunity he gets until he does figure it out. He was a leader. He was energetic. He was fun, and he was certainly a great ball player. So I wish him obviously the best. I think he's going to kill it. And I'm excited to watch from afar for sure.
Yeah, Julius, I got the chance to live with him for about a year, and he works crazy hard. And I'll tell y'all now, if he did leave, he would have got drafted. So that shows his loyalty to East Carolina, because I truly believe if he left and went to the schools that were trying to get him, he would have got picked up somewhere in the draft. Caden?
Yeah, I'll have to say I don't know Julius. I never played with him you guys have, but I was impressed with him saying one of the things he's excited about seeing the NFL is playing with the guys he came out of the trenches with in JUCO. So that was pretty impressive out of me. The excitement out of him too from the draft day was pretty exciting. Holton, I remember yours. That was a fun day. Like he said, every time you get a phone call, you think, oh, am I getting picked? Or, oh, it's another team just calling, hey, we have a slot. Maybe we'll pick you. Maybe we'll pick you up. In the free agency. What I was thinking, Holt? What if someone prank called, one of your boys just prank called with a different area code?
That happened to Baker.
Oh, I didn't know
Baker
that.
Mayfield, yeah.
Would you be boys with that after that? Would you be friends or?
Yeah, but you probably take some time.
How much time?
Just get away from me for a couple weeks.
That's funny.
I mean, if I was going 1 overall, I wouldn't be too mad. But yeah, as an undrafted JUCO bandit as myself. I'm not actually JUCO bandit, but now in the UFL, I feel like I am. But yeah, I'd be pretty pissed if I was an undrafted guy and they prank called me.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of doing that, but when he was talking, I was like, what if someone did do that?
Right.
That's
what'd you guys think of the draft and all?
I mean, I think obviously the Bears are the winners. They get Caleb Williams, they get another receiver in Rome Odunze, plus Keenan Allen, plus DJ Moore. These dudes, they look like they could be the next CJ Stroud and Texans of next year if Caleb Williams pans out the way he's supposed to. They got a new OC too, who was my OC last year in Seattle, as I've mentioned. So I'm excited to see them. I think the loser of the draft is Kirk Cousins. I mean, Michael Penix getting drafted 8 overall. No matter what the Falcons say, their management says, it's doing him dirty. I mean, it's not doing him too dirty because he signed for $100 million, but it definitely doesn't look the best. Caden?
I disagree with you on the Falcons. I think that my winner of the draft, controversially, is the Falcons. And everyone's looking why. Everyone's seen the video of Arthur and the GM. But think about it this way. The Falcons had one of the best defenses last year. Super nasty defense. They had great weapons in the offense. They just didn't have a quarterback. We all knew Desmond Ridder wasn't going to pan out. Me and you at least did, Holton. We talked about that many times. And Kirk Cousins, one of the best quarterbacks to do it, I think, in the league right now, without winning a championship, top 7, top 10. But he's older. He's faces injuries. I think they saw next year and then a couple of years later, it's a weaker class. They might not have the abilities to pick up a quarterback. And the Falcons have the team and the quarterback in Cousins to win now. So if Cousins did get hurt, or let's say Cousins after 4 years, they have a quarterback that's very good college quarterback like Michael Penix Jr. He is older, so he should learn quicker. That's just my own personal take. But I think they went with the little insurance. So when the dealer lays a 10 on the table, you're making sure that he doesn't pick that spade up on the other side.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but when you sign Kirk Cousins to a $100 million deal, now you are completely in win now mode. I don't think it's time to make a future move. I think it's time to give that team and Kirk Cousins all the possible pieces to win, because he has about 4 years left, maybe. And then once those 4 years are up, Michael Penix is about 30 years old now. To me, it's just a weird pick. I know a lot of good quarterbacks went early, but I don't think that's the time to get a future pick.
Drew, you hit it right on the.
I agree. Financially, really bad.
Yeah, I agree. And Drew kind of hit it on the head. Is Penix, if it's 21-year-old Drake May, then it's not a bad move because he could learn under. He could go the Mahomes, Alex Smith route, the Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers route. Penix is 25, 26. So that's where the That's where the move is weird. Jack, what are your winners and losers of this year's draft? I just think it's weird by the Falcons.
Yeah, I like kind of what you were talking about, the Bears. I think that's by far, me and Drew were watching the draft and we were talking about it, and it's by far the best situation that a first overall pick, specifically a quarterback, has gone into in a while. With those weapons, and they go and get Rome right after they picked Caleb. I think that Bears offense is poised for a big year. I'm also kind of excited. I shouldn't say excited because I'm not a Raiders fan, but I like their pick with Brock Bowers. I think that dude's a stud. And now they have him with Michael Mayer from last year, the tight end at Notre Dame. So they got some nasty 12 personnel sets they can run there. They've got kind of a ground and pound type dude and a little bit of that route running and catch the ball and go put it in the box type of guy. So I'm excited for them. My loser is the Falcons. I don't like that deal. You go out and spend all that money on a quarterback to take you to the promised land for the next 4 years, and then with your 8th pick overall, you draft another. I think they had some needs maybe on the edge on defense that they could have capitalized on, but we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, I thought Brock Bowers for the situation was good, but I thought they lost the draft just because of what their situation was. Before the draft, there was a lot of talks that Antonio Pierce, who used to coach Jaden Daniels in college, was going to trade up to get him. That didn't pan out. There was talk that they were going to trade with the Patriots to get a quarterback. That didn't pan out. And so now you're sitting there at 13 like, all right, there's still a bunch of quality quarterbacks that I can draft. And then the 12th pick comes around, and the top 6 quarterbacks are already off the board. So I think situationally they just kind of got screwed. I thought they did the best with what they could. Like, that's probably a time where you just get the best player available, and I think Brock Bowers probably was. But just because of the situation that they got put in, I think they lost. But Brock Bowers was a great pick. I just think they got screwed by all the other teams ahead.
Yeah, I'm not saying Brock Bowers is a bad pick. I mean, I think he's as good as a tight end prospect as there's been in a long time, maybe since Michael Mayer's their tight end now. That's my only thing is, Jack, like you said, they kind of won the draft. They kind of also lost it in that way. Like, they already have a tight end. I mean, I know they're 2 separate guys, but like 12 personnel is, I know the NFL runs it more than usual, but like it's an 11 personnel football league now. Football's 11 personnel, and then you can go 12 personnel, and there'll be matchup problems. But I just, like Drew said, they missed out on a quarterback. They missed out on their guy.
I don't know, guys. I kind of like the Raiders quarterback right now, Gardner Minshew. We forgot what he did last year in Indianapolis. I think he's a pretty solid quarterback. You go 13 without a quarterback, you got a solid guy already. So that's my thoughts. Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, Gardner's definitely been balling in his career. He's made a great career out of it. So that's our draft thoughts. That's brought to you by Worth Chiropractic, 2 convenient locations on Arlington Boulevard. Call 1-800-BACK-DOC, and Dr. Worth and his crew will get you back to being you, man. Whether you're an athlete in a car crash or just daily back pain, they're the place to go. Help me out a lot. I say it every week. They kept me on the field. They keep the boys moving throughout their stressful jobs. Look, Jack, you have to fly in from Denver when you once you get out there. You get your back popped a couple times by the back doc and 1-800-BACK-DOC.
Yeah, I'll be coming back strictly to see Worth.
Boys, my Knicks fell. We were up 6 with 28.6 seconds to go and somehow fell. So we're still up 3-2. Got to go play Philly. I think we closed it out in 6. I said Knicks in 5. I felt really good about it. Literally with 28 seconds left in the game. So Knicks fall. I think the big storylines, though, are out west. Ant Edwards is balling, beats the Suns. Looks like maybe possibly the face of the NBA. The young Thunder team that we were all kind of worried about, they took the 1 seed. We were all saying yes because they're young, they're naive, they don't know anything about the regular season. They sweep and make it look like they're having a blast out there. So that's my storylines. Other than that, I think Kristaps being hurt, man, the Knicks, I'm telling you, the stars are aligning for the Knicks to win out, especially because if we play the Pacers round 2. How are y'all feeling, Drew? You're the NBA guy. How are you feeling? What are some storylines that you're looking forward to with the end of first, kind of early second rounds?
Drew's sad right now, by the way. He's having a Lakers hangover still.
No.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. But I will start out talking about out west. Obviously, I think a big storyline, Steph Curry, LeBron James, and KD all are not playing in the second round for the first time since like 2013 or something like that. That's crazy. Like, real passing of the torches happening. But I think like these series have showed a lot of needs at what teams need. I'll start with the Lakers. They clearly need a center. AD was doing good, but he's one man. It takes an army to beat Jokic, and y'all saw once he went down for 5 minutes, Jokic just took over, and the game was not out of hands, but it turned a 10 lead for the Lakers to a 4-point lead for the Nuggets. And the Suns, they don't have a point guard. So I think a nice little trade proposition, a 3-way trade between the Knicks, the Suns, and the Lakers. All right, so D'Angelo Russell, I think he earned some money this year. So trade him to the Suns for Yusuf Nurkic, one of the best rebounders in the league. And then the Suns trade Bradley Beal to the Knicks because I think there's a lot of offensive pressure on Brunson, and I think later in the playoffs that will be hard when you got one guy taking 35, 40 shots a game. That's a lot of offensive pressure on one guy. So send them Bradley Beal, and then the Knicks send back some depth for the Suns, which they critically need, and it showed in the playoffs.
Well, I'll tell you, Drew, that's a hell of a trade proposal, but I'm going to go ahead and decline it for the Knicks and all the Knicks fans everywhere. Dante DiVincenzo is better than Bradley Beal, hot take, cheaper than Bradley Beal. We already got the team chemistry. We're not doing it. I'm not a fan, but I will tell you, there's some rumblings out there. Look, the Knicks are going to have stars. We got the money to pay some free agents this year, but we got to, I've already talked about on the show, we got to hit the right guy. Because I think people are also realizing the Knicks are making a push right there without their all-star Julius Randle. So, like, that's another guy that is going to be back next year. I think we're good at center. There's rumblings that Devin Booker wants to come to the Knicks. So that I would take him, but I'm not taking a rusty Bradley Beal who's more expensive and worse than Dante DiVincenzo. Jack, you were talking about Drew being sad because the Lakers. How'd the play-in tournament go? Did the Kings get out of it, or did they are they in Cancun right now?
Hey, are you getting hit in the head in Arlington? Because we talked about this last week, so I don't know if you forgot about it or just wanted to bring it up. But do they got Guardian caps out there? Because the quarterbacks need to be wearing them.
Well, I'll tell you, but I don't get many reps out here in Arlington, so I'm not getting hit at all.
I don't think we gave Drew the credit, his front office credit right there. He was
that was very impressive.
Thinking in his bedroom, putting some real effort behind that. If any team in the NBA is looking for, a younger, more hipper ideas in the NBA, look no further than Drew.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but good. I'm not a NBA guy at all, and Drew has a fantasy NBA team. And so we'd be out there just like hanging out or whatever in the living room, and he'd be hitting me with all these trades and stuff and like asking me, and I'm like, Drew, I hate to break it to you, I have zero clue. Like I have no idea what his value is.
Drew's NBA talk gets me fired up. But one thing that Drew called out last week that we kind of didn't talk about yet, and I kind of want to hear Drew on, I think 3 or 4 of the games out there are in a 3-2 series. It's very competitive. A lot of those games, how many were there last time? I can't remember, Drew, off the top of my head. Sorry, 2-0.
Yeah, only 2 teams had won an away game at the time.
So when like we called out before, these teams traveled. They were down 0-2. They went home. People can't win on the road right now. So I think that's one thing that we got to see in the next after this 3-2. Someone's going to eventually pull out, but after the next round, what's going to happen there?
Right.
Yeah, that's what impressed me about the Timberwolves so much. Like Phoenix, I know like they weren't deep, but that was still a great team. Like you got KD, you got Devin Booker, you got Bradley Beal, and they went into Phoenix 2 times in a row and won both games. So to me, like that shows like that's a team that could. I'm not saying they will, but they could go into Denver and steal a game. Is what you have to do if you're a seed higher than Denver. You got to take one. So that's a team that proved they can win on the road, and they got 2 7-footers, which Jokic struggles against. So
yep, that's the team to do it. I think that's the team to do it. We talked about it last week. Boys, you're talking about not winning on the road, but the Knicks just lost on the road. And one thing we talked about last week, and this guy did not get brought up. I hadn't watched him too much until the series. Is Maxey from the Sixers? He has a chance to be maybe the next guard of the league. Maybe not the face of the league, but he might be that 2, 3, 4 slot. Because dude's a baller. I don't know, Drew, I'm sure you watched the Knicks game. I mean, he pulled up from half court and hit a dagger to tie the game to go into overtime. So he's a guy, he had 45 points on a in-game elimination game. Like, Dude's a baller. So him and Embiid, if they keep them together, Embiid, I'm not a fan of. I think he's very good, but I think he's soft. So we'll have to see how that ends up. So that's kind of the NBA talk. That was brought to you by none other than Southern Ease. Check them out at southernease.com. Code PIRATE for 25% off. What are you waiting for? 25% off, like we just said. Tasty hemp edibles. It helps with anything, and they're alcohol flavored. So check them out, southernease.com. Shout out to those guys for the support.
Also, I just want to throw in here right quick. 3 years ago, Bradley Beal led the NBA in scoring. Like, that's still a solid player.
3 years ago, Drew. 3 years ago.
He's solid, y'all.
3 years ago, Drew. Hey, let's have a little fun with this. So we tweeted out on our X at Whole Ahlers Show. What should we talk about? What's some topics? So instead of like picking one or two, we're gonna roll through these bad boys real quick. We're gonna respond to these topics. I will respond to most of them. If they have some input, the walk-ons will jump in. But Drew, let's pop them on the screen, read them to me, and we'll go from there.
All right, so I'm going to throw some questions on the screen from fans, and the boys are going to answer them. Let's go. All right, so the first question, Mr. Juan, the stupid effing Group of 5 playoff they're trying to sell us on.
I think Mr. Juan is talking about the rumors of possibly a Group of 5 playoff, because the only reason, Mr. Juan, I wouldn't get too upset about it, because as long as there's a 12-team playoff, we still got a piece of the pie at it. And I mean the Group of 5 teams. Look, they're making these super conferences. Yes, they are. But as long as there's a 12-team playoff in college football, a Group of 5 team will have an automatic bid. I wouldn't buy into this Group of 5 playoff as of right now.
Good.
I'm anti-Group of 5, but if they did do the Group of 5 playoff, make it a play-in playoff to get into that last spot in the big dance.
Okay. All right, next question. Our man Kenny, when are we going to see you under center, and how do you feel about Zay Jones being released?
Unfortunately, Mr. Kenny, I talked to management and our coaches, and they pretty much said they are riding and dying with QB1 Luis Perez right now. So I'm just going to continue to get my practice reps. Hopefully something changes. And look, we're 0-5 right now, averaging 18 points. So, I mean, obviously something's got to change. But as of right now, nothing is changing. And how do I feel about Zay Jones being released? Look, it's a business. I've seen it up close and personal. I've talked about it on the show before. Now, look, he's already vested. He's going to live a good life the rest of his life. Does he want to keep playing ball? Does he have the ability to? Yes, I'm sure he'll get signed. He's a baller, friend of the show, one of our first guys on it. Hopefully he gets signed here soon. Thanks for responding to us, Kenny.
As a sports bettor like me, Jack, Drew, I'm going to follow the trends on that one. Me and Jack, my fault, Drew. I just added another name. I'm going to follow the trends on that one. The coaches said no change. Fade the Renegades.
Fade them.
No comment. Drew, keep going.
All right. So next question, Bryce Spice, and the profile picture is crazy. When is Luis Perez going to the bench? Kind of just talk about
I just talked about it. Bryce Spice, I like the profile pick. Hopefully soon. Thanks for responding. Hey, respond next week. We'll with another question. Maybe we'll answer it and someone else won't ask it.
All right, Christopher B. Hill. At what point did ECU coach Houston know we were in trouble last year? Did he lie to cover up, or did he cover up and lie to Pirate Nation? At some point, he had to know we were in trouble, yet it seemed like Coach Mo in that he kept saying the same thing each week.
Jack, take it.
Well, Chris, I could promise you no football coach in America is going to walk into the team meeting room one day and just be like, well, guys, we're screwed. Might as well pack it up for the rest of the season. But, he obviously did emphasize that we were struggling in certain parts and that it was an opportunity for other position groups to kind of carry up the slack for them. And going into like the fan perspective of that question, I think similar to what I just said, I don't think he's ever going to walk to a group of fans and be like, yeah, guys, we're screwed. Stop coming to our games. Those games, even at the end of the season, were still competitive. Obviously, we're lacking probably production on the offensive side of the ball, if we're being honest, but they were still close games. And so, I mean, yeah, he might have come across as pretty repetitive, but at that point, I mean, what more can you say? I don't know what you want him to say there. We kept showing up, kept fighting.
I played with those guys, and I knew somewhere between the Birmingham Bowl game and somewhere between June, he knew he did not have a quarterback for that that 2023 season. So I don't know if somewhere he chose not to get the transfer, but somewhere between that time frame of about 6 months, he knew he's in trouble.
I just think if he knew he's in trouble at that time, he would have gotten someone. Personally,
I don't know. I think I kind of agree with both of you. I mean, I think you would hope he went and got someone, but like at the same time, Mason's the guy going into it, like so hyped up to be my replacement and the guy after me. Like, does he kind of get flashback from bringing in a new transfer? So I see both points of it. But Jack, my only thing to kind of agree with Caden on this one is Alex Flynn marches in their second drive of the game versus Michigan. And we all saw the spring game too. We all heard the reports in camp. Like, Mason was presumed the guy, but there was a quarterback competition. And the only reason there was quarterback competition was because Flynn was kind of outplaying Mason. Both are good buddies, but we're just being honest. Jack, you were going against him. Drew, you were going against him. So that's kind of he wasn't ballsy and went and go get a guy that we had guys ready to come here. But at the same time, we had a 4-star, the highest rated recruit ever waiting in my wing. So it was kind of a lose-lose in a way.
I agree with you, Holton. I think he had his recruits, and he had to ride that out. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
I think he had to ride it. And
live by it, die by it.
Live by it and die by it, exactly, Jack. And he had to do it, or, I don't think he saw the option of not taking his recruit, at least.
But he doubled down this cycle, so let's ride, Caden and Jake.
He did. Thanks for the question, Coach Hill. Drew, what else?
All right. Pirate 247. Y'all boys gonna get back pay if the NCAA settles the antitrust case? If so, what's your first purchase?
I got this one. So I figured out this because I was on Madden. So I will go ahead and tell you they're going to get a free game and like $60 unless the NCAA has better lawyers than the NFLPA does. But if so, I'm going to be pissed. I finally dreamed and I got on Madden. I get Madden for free. I download it. My very first play, I'm running. I put myself in. My speed, they have it like 32. And I get, oh yeah, okay. And I get bopped and fumble, and I haven't played with myself since. But my first purchase, my first purchase, I don't know. I mean, I'm not even going to be on the game, I don't think. I mean, Drew, I guess you'll be on the game at either Georgia, Oregon, or Alabama or Catawba. So, I mean, which we'll figure out here in just a few minutes. But other than that, yeah, I mean, they probably won't be getting that much money.
Yeah, and even if we were, we'd probably all be like 42 overalls anyways. Holton, you might be like a 58 or something.
Oh, respect, Jack. Thanks for that one.
But we're all probably in the 40s.
Only back pay I want, because there was absolutely no other back pay for me, is a free game. Give me a free game, I'll be happy.
Look, one
Anything
thing
else,
I'll
Drew?
say is Drew Daughter's always a 99 when he's in player mode, so I ain't worried about that.
Yeah, you could just fix the sliders.
Yeah.
Drew, we got any more?
Yeah. So the next question, James Baker UFL. Know it's been a tough year for Arlington, but would love to get y'all's thoughts on the overall league, game quality, fan support, etc. With that being said, #free 15.
Free 15. Let's go, James. James goes to the games and shouts that during games. I think it's been great, man. You'll have to get their fan response as it, but I think it's been great. I mean, even the fans, I mean, we're getting over 10,000 fans a game pretty much everywhere we play. We've had 40,000 at one game, so it's been fun. I think it's going to stick around. Quality of play has been good. I've already talked about that as well. I'm going to tell you a funny story, though, and then we'll kind of get on from this topic. It's got a little bit of JUCO feel to it, though. I've told some stories. I'm going to tell this one. So usually in the NFL, you try out, you go to a direct team and you try out. Like I had one for the Packers and the Colts last year. In this league, like you just try out on the field, which is our field because we're the home base, and they film it and just send it to all the teams. So yesterday, a league guy comes up to me. He's like, hey, will you throw to these receivers and running backs? You know, there's like 5 of them. So I throw to them, and okay, they're going to send the film out. So I'm lifting in the gym in the weight room after after practice. And one of the guys comes up to me. He's like, hey, man, like, nice to meet you. Like, thanks. And I was like, yeah, man, like you look good out there. Where'd you play college ball? He was like, oh, I didn't play college ball. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, how'd you get a workout then, dude? And he was like, and he pointed up and he said, God did it. Which, hey, I believe God does everything. He said that God told him to go out there and that there was a workout happening that day. And he showed up and there was a workout happening that day. And he balled out during the workout, boys. So, like, I mean, God works in mysterious ways. He said he walked in and the security guard was like, hey, are you here for a workout? And he said, yeah. he walked into the workout.
All right,
So
we gotta talk about the security of the UFL.
yeah. So then, so I was like, hey, yeah, man. He was like, hey, you got an IG? Like, he was like, I'm the fastest guy in the world. And I was like, I like kind of laughed. And he was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, look me up, James Harden. And I was like, what?
Dang.
And his name is actually James Harden. And
He beat the Knicks at night, and then at daytime he goes and tries out for the UFL.
So he plays. He was telling me he plays in the fan-controlled league. He never played college football, and his highlights were actually dirty. So fun story about that. That's like the JUCO side of the UFL. But overall, I think it's been great. Drew, we got anything else?
Self-proclaimed fastest man in the world. That's interesting.
No, it is.
Drew, you got anything else? We got any more?
Jack, you were saying something?
No, I'm good.
All right.
No.
The final question we got is from Daniil. Don't know how to say your last name. I'm gonna say
Guan.
Who do y'all think are ECU's top 3 rivals in football currently and or throughout history?
I'll take it first. Throughout, I mean, you got to say State, Carolina, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, our conference right now is buns, if we're being honest about it. Yeah, I mean, I would say State, Carolina. There's been a lot of good Marshall shootouts. I'll say Marshall maybe. I always like Cincinnati when we played. Yeah, there's history there. I'd say State, Carolina, Marshall maybe. I mean, the top 2 are pretty obvious. Y'all got anything to say on that?
I wouldn't classify it as a rivalry. But it was cool in the Birmingham Bowl playing Coastal Carolina because it was like the premier group of 5 teams from North Carolina and South Carolina, and they were kind of chippy and talkative, and then obviously it didn't work out well for them. But that was kind of a fun, like kind of heated game, if you will, for a bowl game.
Yeah, I agree. For ECU, it's North Carolina and Carolina. Outside of that, though, and those guys don't claim us to be rivals. They act all big and bad in the triangle that they don't care about little brother ECU. They lose, they do. But I would say outside of that, the old heads are going to say Marshall and Southern Miss. But, like, who gets excited about playing Marshall and Southern Miss? I'm sorry. I don't think we have a true rival outside, obviously, the in-state big brother, so-called, that we like to play against, and they don't like to play against us. So outside of that, like, we have to figure out new rivalries with like an app or a Coastal.
I was gonna say this year on the schedule app.
Yeah,
circled for sure.
But like NC State or Carolina or app and Coastal, who are you getting excited about? Getting excited about those,
right?
Is it possible that maybe 6 years from now UNC Charlotte kind of falls into that rivalry range?
I was gonna say that
it's chippy on social media. But I know.
I mean, honestly, conference, like that's what they want. And I mean, we've said it before. If you want rivalries, go to the Sun Belt. I mean, it's local teams, it's great teams. We talked about a couple of them just then, so we'll have to see. All right, this next segment before we end, Wayne Hardy Law, 1-800-INJURED. If you've been in a car accident or just need a lawyer, call 1-800-INJURED. Big Wayne and his team will treat you like family. They've been around the community my whole life. A great team over there. They will make sure that everything gets settled and you get your money. And if you've been in a car accident, like I said, they'll help you with a rental car and everything in between. 1-800-INJURED. Call Big Wayne today. And Mattamuskeet Goose Club. The items should be coming in soon. We got a lot of cool items coming in. We've already gave away a lot of them, and you see their logo right there. Go to Mattamuskeet Goose Club's Instagram and website, and then we're going to be giving it away a lot. Just make sure you follow us at Whole Ahlers Show on X. And I know all of you have been waiting.
Call Big Wayne.
Hey,
like
yes,
that.
sir.
I like that.
Yes, sir.
Give us a drum roll for your own commitment, Drew. It's time.
It's time. We've all been waiting for Drew's commitment. Drew, I'm just going to give you the floor. Yeah, in fact, let me just put it in place. This guy is one of the most feared safeties / DBs / kick returners / receivers in the transfer portal.
Utility.
Dan Lanning, Nick Saban thought about coming out of retirement to recruit this guy. Kirby Smart.
Pete Carroll,
and
now that Reggie Bush got his Heisman back.
That's right.
Said, I'll go back to USC.
You talking about prime time? I'm not talking about Deion Sanders, even though Deion's recruiting him. I'm talking about Drew Dodder. Drew, the space is yours. Commit. Tell the world where you going to play college football next season.
Man, y'all really hyped me up. I appreciate that. You know, it was a hard decision, but, you know, I got to go with Catawba, man. Yeah,
let's go.
You know, like they gave me A bunch of love. Was committed to Bama. Nick Saban retired. Couldn't do it. But in all seriousness, this is a great opportunity for me to get a master's degree for free and can continue to play college ball, which has been a dream for me since a kid. Kataba's given me that opportunity, and I'm thankful for that and them.
No, 100%, Drew. We're very proud of you. Walk-ons are climbing up in the world, man. I'm the most walk-on one now. I'm over here playing in the JUCO league. But no, Drew, we're proud of you, dude. Drew and Jack obviously are kind of moving away from Greenville. They're still going to be part of the show. We're going to make sure of it. The crew's sticking together, but Drew's sticking in North Carolina, so we're going to have to hit the road and go watch him. But obviously, we were kind of joking with some of that. But Drew you grinded, dude. You're getting your master's paid for. That's big time. Obviously, a huge. Hats off to you. We're proud of you, brother.
Let's go.
Let's go, man. We keep killing it, and we're definitely going to make some games, like I said. But he really is, dude. I've said it before. You're the best scout team safety I ever played. So excited. You said you're moving back to safety. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. So, hey, get ready to go. We're going to go to a game this year, boys. Cade and Jack. And Jack, you're going to have to come all the way from Denver. But, boys.
What's their mascot?
They're the Indians.
Oh, we'll be at a couple Indian games.
Yeah.
Let's see if that name lasts for the next 2 years.
I was about to say,
yeah,
how
for
long
real.
is that going to last? But
yeah. Hey, thanks for joining, boys. It's always fun. Congrats, Drew. We're excited for you. Jack, you have one more episode in person, don't you?
I think I got one more in here.
All right, let's go. Shout out to you guys. We're proud of you. The boys are moving up in the world. We'll keep it going, though. The show moves on just like it always does. We'll see you next time.